Barry, how's the squad looking heading into Sunday's match?
We've got a couple of players back. Leon trained today with a mask on, so he looked fine. Again, we'll need to obviously see how he reacts tomorrow. But good to see him back. Obviously, get a minor operation on his fracture in the cheekbone, so it's good to see him back out today.
I know there was a lot of frustration after the game last weekend. Have you had to change anything this week in the build-up to Sunday's match?
Well, there's a lot of frustration for a number of reasons because I wasn't happy with the way the game went. Again, we've had a full week. We've spent a bit of time. We've been through certain scenarios that I wasn't happy with. We've still got obviously another day to go. We'll do a lot more work tomorrow, but I'm clear on what I wasn't happy with. That needs to improve, and I expect a big improvement Sunday.
You'd obviously said that you felt maybe some of the instructions that you'd worked on during the week hadn't been followed in that game. Is that something that you're hoping to see change this weekend?
Yeah, better change. And it has to change, so that's something again we spoke about as a group. That's something that I wasn't happy with. That was clear, you seen that after the game. So again, we went through a lot this week, and I expect him to take the information on.
A lot of the time these bigger games haven't been the issue for Rangers this season. Obviously got a good win against Celtic at Parkhead and your visit there. Hoping for a similar type of performance at Ibrox on Sunday to that one that got you the win there.
I can care less about the performance. I just want to get 3 points. It's a bonus for me if you play well in the games. I tend to know, look what happened in the past. That was a number of weeks ago. And I'll expect the same level, if not better, in Sunday.
Do you think that's been an issue at the club, that too much focus has been on performance rather than the be all and end all, which is winning games?
And yeah, I've said it all along, I couldn't care about how they perform. I know a lot of people want to see free flow and attractive football, and I totally get that, but it's all about winning games of football, and it's clear that we've not won enough this season, and it's something that we need to get better at going forward, not just this season, but next season and the following season after that.
There's obviously pictures this week of the new consortium taking a look around the club. For your sense, just I think a lot of supporters without that would feel pretty hopeless with the way that the club's going, the run of failure, I suppose. Do you think this is something that can offer them hope for the new season?
Yeah, surely we're all excited because if something the club have been wanting is outside investment, it looks to me it's going along smoothly, and we're just waiting to obviously get the thumbs up that everything's done and dusted, and it's the start of a new era for the club, because it certainly needs it. So yep, I'm just like everybody else. I'm just looking forward to the day that it gets signed off, and hopefully it's a brighter future for Rangers.
Does it feel like your team has to add into that this weekend to try and add to that sense of optimism that's starting to very slowly sort of build around the support?
Yeah, listen, we've got to deal with ourselves first and foremost. Look, last week's performance was one that annoyed me, made me angry, and I was clear on that in the dressing room. I've been clear on that this week, and so I'm expecting, as I said, a better performance, because as I said, everybody playing for the futures, for it's going to be hopefully start of something really positive and good for the club.
Kevin was up here. Did you have any chance to have a sit down with him?
Yep, I did, and I had a long meeting with him. It was good. First time I've sat down with him. I was impressed by him, but obviously what was said will remain private. You know I'm going to say that, but yeah, it was great to, as I said, bang heads together. He gave my feelings. We felt understood on, but yeah, very impressive, and it's something that I think will work really good for the club.
One way or the other, but you think plans are already starting to take shape for the new season?
Meetings. We're coming really soon, we get the season finishing, and before you know it, you're back in pre-season. Before you know it, you've got Champions League qualifiers, and then the league starts. So, yeah, it's clear that Rangers as a club need to start moving, because as I mentioned there, the season's just round the corner.
Is it possible for you to speak to you who can sort out too?
No, I just briefly for a few minutes welcome them to the training centre, but I have more important stuff to do. I've got to prepare for an old firm game. But we seen them round about the place, and I was up basically. Then I sat down with Kevin, and now I just look forward to getting both the 3 points.
Did you chat with Kevin in your own position going from the clearing?
Yeah, listen, what was said in the room will remain private. I come out of the meeting feeling good about it, and I'm hopeful Kevin did as well, because we understand that there's going to be a lot of changes. There has to be a lot of changes to try and make this club successful again, because it's built on winning trophies, and it's clear over the last number of years that we've won nowhere near enough.
Certainly. Either way, whatever happens, you're excited about.
Of course, yeah. I've said that if I'm not going to be here, I'm excited about the prospect of new owners coming in. Kevin coming in as a sporting director, head of the football department. So I said changes had to happen. These changes now are starting to happen. So I'm a Rangers supporter, which I'm a, and the hundreds of thousands that are out there, they should be excited to what's hopefully going to become.
Sorry, you're talking about the better year change in the performance because you were really angry last weekend out at St Mirren. Your brother Derek said it's almost like disrespectful to a manager if you don't carry out with instructions. Do you feel that way?
Listen, everybody's got different opinions, and it's something that I won't really read into, whether it's my brother, whether it's somebody else, where everybody's entitled to their opinions. I'll keep my feelings in the house, and I think that's the best way to keep it. The players understand the reason why I wasn't happy after the game. So, listen, people feel that they want to say it's not my place to agree or disagree with them. I kind of let it go over my head. I've got one thing in my mind, and that's concentrating on we try and have a better performance, or the better made sure we have a better performance against Celtic Sunday.
The last time Rangers won 3 big games in a row against Celtic, I think it was actually before you started, maybe in your first season as a full-time pro, 96, 97, which kind of indicates how long ago it was.
No, I'm feeling on what you say that there. Yeah, far too long. But look, we know we're coming up against Celtic have been strong and consistent. That's one thing about them. We have not been that throughout the season. The last couple of games, yeah, we performed and got results, but it's not really got us anywhere. It needs to be week by week. We need to make sure we put the levels of performance on, and I'm expecting a big performance from us because we know we come in here, they'll not be happy with what happened in the last 2 games. So we need to be ready and prepared. And we've done all the preparation we can this week. We know what we were going to approach it. We know what we were going to set up. So yeah, these are the games you've got to be looking forward to, not just as a manager and our coaching staff, but as a playing staff as well.
But it doesn't mean much in the broader scheme, Barry, but I mean, it's always going to be a game that you'll get emotional about and be up for.
It means a lot to me. And I've said that it needs to mean a lot to everybody inside the building. Yep. It's been a really disappointing season. It's not a dead rubber. You're going out against your fiercest rivals who again have dominated this season. That hurts. So we need to go up against them and just let them, I'll give them a reminder that, listen, we're going to be here next season. We need to challenge, certainly in a better manner than which we have done this season.
Do you get the feeling from the squad that it does mean as much to them as it does mean to you?
Well, I've got the feeling this week because we've sat and we've spoken about it, and we've stood out in the training ground and we've spoken about it. So the reaction that I've got in training has been really good. But it matters when you cross that white line. That's when it matters. So the proof will be in the pudding, I guess, come lunchtime on Sunday. Come back.
I see if you may walk away from it, so it may sound to you all but now that you've tasted it, how much will you miss that brew? Like I come down and being everything that's joke with it, Phil.
Yeah, of course. I'll miss it. There's no doubt if I'm not going to be here. But I'm comfortable with the situation. I was comfortable with the situation when I got offered the job. I'm comfortable with the situation coming the 17th of May. I need to go back and do what I was doing. I was enjoying myself, but this is been, how could I put it? Simple words. It's been an amazing couple of months for me. A few up and downs. I kind of knew that when I come into the role, but it's given me a taste of it. And as I've said last week, somebody asked me the question, would I take it? Of course I would take it. If I don't get it, I'm not going to spit the dummy out. I'll still go back to my role within the club and come and support the club and hopefully see the club be successful again.
But I just wonder if you saw last night's penalty in Bilbao that Man United got. Does that add to any of the injustice that you felt for a couple of weeks ago?
And again, that's in the past. But I mean, when you see that given last night, for me, Cyrils was a worse one than that one. But again, in that benefit that night, overall, if I'm being brutally honest, over the two games, they were better. But when you see decisions, again, in Manchester United getting that decision, it does make you think, well, that's in the past. I need to try and look forward. And the first hurdle for me is Sunday.
Alright, there's lots to chat about it this week. Did you or your players even discuss the guard of water?
Well, I've been asked by a few times about this. It's never happened in the past. I don't know why there's always a big clamour about a guard to honour. It's never happened, whether it's Celtic, whether it's Rangers. And I think it'll always just remain that way. You're asking about Celtic are champions for a reason, because they've been the most consistent throughout the season. We haven't. But in terms of guard to honour, I don't see it. I mean, I put myself in the position, it wouldn't bother me. I don't think it'll bother Celtic either, if I'm being brutally honest. So it's something that's not been in the conversations throughout the week. I don't think it's even come up in conversation. But I have been about without. People have asked me, and I give them my honest opinion. It's just never happened in the past, so why should it happen going forward?